Located on the western shores of the beautiful Loch Fyne, Inveraray has to be one of the most picturesque towns in all of the Scottish Highlands. Often referred to as the capital of Argyll, Inveraray was the ancestral seat of the Duke of Argyll. With a beautiful castle, a rich history, some stunning architecture and some breathtaking scenery, this small Scottish town simply demands a visit if you're heading up the west coast of Scotland. So, come with us as we explore Inveraray by land, sea and air.
Welcome to Inverary.
So welcome to our little video, just having a look around Inveraray today, little town in Argyll. It's really pretty. It's in the evening now, so it's a lot quieter. We came here yesterday, which was a Saturday, it was really busy, so just gonna have a wander around now, look at some of the shops, look at some of the places to eat, where to park, etc, and tell you exactly what to do if you find yourself in Inveraray. So the parking, we parked here yesterday on Saturday morning and there was room to park, probably about maybe 30 or 40 spaces. It's not too expensive either, it works out just £1 an hour. And you can go for as long as you want. I think we were here for 3 hours the other day, so it just cost us £3 for 3 hours parking, which is quite reasonable compared to some car parks. So, but there's lots of places to park throughout the town, and, but this is a good spot on the front. You know, some nice views of the harbour there. Plus you're right next to the main street, so it's a good place to start from. So yeah, we'll go and have a look up the main street now. So at this point we thought it'd be good to do a bit of a drive-through of the town, just so you can kind of navigate your way through and understand where everything is. So we started off on the seafront here on the east side of town towards the castle. Then we moved down the main street. This is where most of the shops are that you saw on the video. The chip shop as well, and a few cafes and 1 or 2 pubs. There's a pub that we went in here, which you'll see a little later on. This main building in the square is kind of like a town hall, churchy kind of building. Just on the left there was the jail. Then you kind of go out of town here towards the co-op where you can do your food shopping. Further down, we didn't go any further in the video actually, but that's just kind of a residential area, not really much of interest down there. You also see the little flyover here. Some really nice views of the town, just shows how picturesque everything is and how beautiful. And you can see that kind of town hall featuring the bell tower to the right as well of the picture. Yeah, they're kind of the main features of the town. So yeah, nice little town. We'll carry on with the tour. So this is Inveraray Jail, which is probably the most popular tourist attraction. They have an escape room, which is supposed to be really, really good actually. I've seen a few reviews about that. But the jail itself, it's £16 each to get in. So we had a look at it the other day, but at £16 each we thought it was a little bit expensive, really, didn't we?
But it's an interactive experience. We don't know what that means, but there's actors involved. So whether you get put in jail and stuff.
Actors involved, so yeah.
Yeah,
Wow,
look
must
at
be
the
good.
pictures. You get put behind bars.
Yeah, you get to do a tour of the jail, and apparently it takes an hour, or well, a couple of hours. So yeah, if it's a rainy day, probably worth a look if you don't mind paying £16. But like I say, you can take dogs in, which is handy for us with Toby. So yeah, that's the jail. Some really nice historic buildings. That's some kind of town hall, I think. Which says
The community hall looks dead.
the community hall.
Yeah.
The community hall is a little bit sad looking.
But let's go to the bell tower.
We're going to have a look at the bell tower. So just on the way to the bell tower, there's lots more parking down here. It is still pay and display, but as I mentioned earlier, it's not too expensive to park in town. So yep, plenty of options for parking. Quite an impressive tower though. Let's go have a quick look, shall we?
And the bells ring.
Bells do ring. We heard them yesterday. What day is it today? We heard them on Saturday. We heard them on Saturday afternoon ringing away. So yeah, they do seem to ring them quite regularly. Not very well look on my Gaelic. I assume it's Gaelic. Might be Latin. Don't know. Maybe somebody else knows. Quite impressive, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, look at the size of them. I think they're more impressive.
Rhubarb, anyone?
Is that giant rhubarb?
I don't think they are rhubarb. Look how big it is. I don't know those, and that's wood.
Yeah, impressive building.
What is this? It's like Jurassic Park.
We're more fascinated by these than the actual clock tower.
Josie, don't go in there, might see you.
So another one of the highlights of Inveraray is obviously the castle, which we haven't actually visited, but it is worth a look apparently. I think it's about 20 quid to get inside, so worth a look. And we did a little flyby with the drone the other day, and it's absolutely beautiful there. So yeah, well worth a visit to the castle if you do find yourself in Inveraray, especially on a rainy day. But you can't take dogs inside as well, which is one of the reasons we decided not to bother. But yeah, that's worth a look. Inveraray Castle. There's another little restaurant here, Samphire Seafood Restaurant, which must be quite popular. We're not big on seafood though, so probably not for us, that place. But this is just a way out of town, there's not really much down here. There is another pay display car park if the first one's full. And just around the corner from there is a co-op, which we went to the other day. That's very good. You get everything in co-op that you need really. So yeah, well worth a look in the co-op if you need to get some shopping if you're staying in the area. So we're just going to get some food, and we've been recommending this place, the George Hotel, the cottage that we're staying in the visitor book. Lots of people mention this, so there's quite a posh restaurant and a pub as well. So we'll go inside for a look, hopefully get a table. A giant table. Posh ceiling. So we've got 2 burgers, a venison burger and a beef burger. You're excited?
I am, but your gherkin's bigger than mine, so a bit upset about that.
That is true.
Can I get some vinegar?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you.
All okay now or something?
Yeah, great, thank you. The whole reason that we came to the pub was for this little glass of stinky stuff. We need to do a scratch and sniff everybody.
We have a very nice whiskey bar. Apparently it was voted best whiskey bar in Scotland in 2022, so it's obviously a good one. They had a lot to choose from, so I've gone for a Kilorman, a cask strength. So if you like whiskey, you'll know what that is. It's an Argyll one. So yeah, just enjoying that now. And Michelle sits drinking a Diet Coke.
It stinks. Is it good?
It's good. What did you think of the meal in the George?
Average, at best.
Very average, a little bit disappointed to be honest. I enjoyed the whiskey bar, that was the highlight, but yeah, the food wasn't actually that good and quite expensive too. Never mind, so don't think we recommend the George.
Maybe in the restaurant.
That's true, we went in the pub section, there was a restaurant, although the food was exactly the same apparently. So some of the little shops, we've got the Harbour Gallery, which is quite a cute little gallery, some nice pictures there. We went in all these the other day, just in case you're wondering how we know all this.
The Harbour Gallery, they also have one in Ullapool, which we've been in, and we've bought some of the pictures from Ullapool.
They got the same artist and does a lot of the pictures. Loch Fyne whiskies. Nice little shop, they do a lot of their independent bottlings in there. And to be honest, the guy in there was a bit miserable, so we didn't stay in for long, and they weren't giving out any samples.
It looks like the man in the window, gone up in the window.
It does, yeah. It reminded us of Lurch. Don't know if you can see that through the window. Yeah, never mind, it wasn't the best. Lots of nice little cafes around.
Bobby, where are you going?
Lots of nice little gift shops.
This shop smells delicious, and then it's next to the pet shop that smells like pet shop.
Yeah, the pet shop's well like pet shop. This is the post office. Do you want to go in the post office?
I do.
For some reason, Michelle wants to go in the post office.
Because you always find random sweets or cakes or something in the random shops, so...
Okay.
Oh, is it shut now?
So it's
Oh, no,
open.
it's open.
We'll go and have a look. So if you're looking for cafes, Brambles apparently is the best place. We had a look in the other day, but there was a queue out the door. And we had Toby with us, so we decided not to bother actually.
Dogs are allowed in though.
Dogs are allowed in. And over there you've got a few other little coffee shops, gift stores, extra seating for the cafe.
This book, I want this book, everybody. It's The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the whatever,
Goody.
horse, something, you know, that book. But it's Scottish.
I wanted to buy that the other day because she's got the English version at home. Fish and chip shop, which we haven't sampled yet, but we will be doing at some point. So you'll see that Cafe Bella, that was empty the other day. All the little cafes were packed, that was empty. Somebody wanted Italian. Now if you're into whiskey, I'd recommend that shop. Fine Malts of Inveraray. We went in there, there's a really friendly guy, gave me a couple of samples, some nice speciality whiskies, so not just the standard ones. Fairly reasonably priced too for what it was, so yeah, Fine Malts of Inveraray. I'd go in there rather than the bigger shop. Nice little sweetie shop over there, Sweet Memories. Lots of classical sweets, lots of gift shops though. Some are just, to be honest, tat. Some are quite nice, so this was a cute one, Bonnie Argyll. Went in there, they had some cute little things in there. But this is the main street, and I'd say 90% of the shops and cafes and pubs are on this street. Just spin you around and show you. So that is the main street of Inveraray. But there's a few other places dotted around as well. So Inveraray is obviously perched on the side of a loch, which is a Loch Fyne. It's a beautiful loch, and it is a sea loch as well, so it is tidal. So the tide does come in and out throughout the day. We actually had some paddle boards with us while we were on holiday, and we were just staying about a mile down the road. So I paddleboarded over to Inveraray one evening, about 9:30 at night, and that was beautiful. Some really nice views from the water of the town, which you'll see coming up in a minute. And you can hire paddleboards in the area and kayaks, and you can also take fishing tours from the harbour. See the harbour there with the boat there. So that's another option if you're into fishing. They can do a fishing out at sea or just around Loch Fyne. There's a lot of good fishing in the area. So yeah, that's an option. If you want to get out on the water, there's plenty of options available for that. And it is a really pretty harbour as well. It was nice to paddleboard around it and also have a look around it on foot as well, which we did later on in the video. So yeah, well worth having a look at that. We didn't go in the end of the day, so Michelle's disappointed, and dogs are welcome. Some nice little Scottish gifts.
I might be lying, it might be the one that had the queue.
I'm sure we went in there.
No, just went in the door and came back out.
Fair enough. So this is just back on the front, where we parked the car down there. Down by the harbour. And the Inverary Inn, which I wish we'd gone to now, to be honest, after what we've just had at the George Hotel. But this is another place that was recommended to us. Just slightly more kind of standard food in there, not quite as posh. Although, yeah, like I say, after we've been in the George, I'd definitely go to that one if you had the choice.
Yeah, but we don't know, it might be worse.
True, it might be worse.
Maybe people, we need to try it.
So heck, it's going to be an expensive week. But I love the kind of architecture out here. Yeah, really nice, really pretty.
Nice view in it. Up to the tower.
Yep, up to the tower up there. Try and zoom in. We went up there the other day. Might be able to put a little bit of footage on of us up there the other day. That was a really pretty walk. That's Cruick Tower, I think. And it overlooks the castle. The castle's just over there. You can just see actually Inverary Castle.
I'm getting midgeted.
Yeah. Michelle's been attacked by midges. So it's a really pretty little town, Inveraray. Nice little harbour, just over there with the boats, all moored up. Some interesting things around as well. Don't know what this is. Anybody know who this guy is without looking?
A war memorial.
It's just a war memorial. I don't think it's anybody in particular. These lovely benches. We came here, it's a Sunday evening now, about 8 o'clock. We came on Saturday, it was absolutely packed out. Lots of tourists, American tourists, and yeah, they're all very friendly though. We actually got talking to a few in the whisky shop, but nice friendly people. So the tide's out at the moment. Usually the tide goes right up to the wall, and it's probably a bit pretty with the tide in, to be honest. But that bridge, quite a well-known bridge actually, that just leads up to the castle. That's a really pretty bridge as well. So back at the main car park now. There are some public toilets. I think about it's 50p to use the toilets. I hate that when you have to pay for the car park and then pay for the toilets. Never mind. A cute little harbour as well. Nice little boats. So yeah, going to have a quick explore of the harbour before we leave.
All aboard.
So what do you think of Inveraray?
Me?
Yes.
It's nice.
Yeah. I like, there's nobody else here, so I don't know who else that's good. Yeah, it's a really pretty town, well worth a visit if you're in Argyll. We've never been here before, but I think we'll be back in the future. But yeah, we're just out on the harbour now. It's a really pretty viewpoint as well. Just get to see all the towns from there, stretched out. Yeah, we've just seen some fish as well, just bobbing around in the little harbour. Don't think you'll pick it up on the camera, but yeah. So.
It's nice for if there were the prisoners in the jail, if they had windows, they've got a really nice view. So
that's a nice takeaway from our video. If you go to jail in Inverary, you get a good view out the window, so yeah, you can bear that in mind. So thank you for watching our video, we do appreciate it. If you'd like to tune in for the next one and subscribe to the channel as well, we'd really appreciate that. So thanks again, we'll see you next time.